Okay, but the thing is, and then again, another peeve is that it it doesn't like snap to the perspective line, to the vanishing point. So this goes anywhere. Put a line over here, so let me just show you. So if I draw a diagonal line here, what happens is that this scales in perspective, so which is good if you want some diagonals. So I think it's a trade-off. So while I can't get lines that go to the vanishing point, I can keep any other line in perspective. So that's a trade-off there. Also, speaking of vanishing points, I forgot to show you they can change the vanishing points. You know, these are not locked down. So everything that has a little widget, you can manipulate. All right. So now let me move on. I think yes. Okay. So now, okay. So now we have our object. So now let me show you. Now again, these are just lines. Again, as I've told you before, lines don't really think. And if you just create everything, if you're creating a building or something with just these flat shapes, it's not really going to look that interesting. So what you want to do is be able to switch and create something that has some space to it, some dimensionality to it. Okay, so now as I do that, I'm going to show you one thing as we do this. So if I select, oops, that's not what I want with the selection tool. The right tool for the right job. Okay, so now here you show the active widget plane. So you can move this widget to a different position, to the top left, top right, top bottom, automatic plane position. So you can change all that if you want. I don't really find it necessary, but you know, change it for your working situation. Okay, so now if I want this to be in perspective on this wall, it's not really happening because if I want this to stay the same size. So what I have to do is hold down, is start dragging, have it here, hold down the 5 key, and now I've got this so it goes back perpendicularly here. All right, and so yes, we're on perpendicular now. So let me just cross that off. It's a messy lesson because everything just flows, you know, from one to the other. Okay, so we finished object align. Okay, so now what I want to do is make this stick out from here. So I'll let that lock there. So now let me make some changes here. Get rid of that thick outline. Let's go with yellow here. Whoops. Actually, I said I wanted to get rid of it. Okay, now for the interior, let's go with yellow. Let's go with green. Okay, so now what I want to do is draw a shape that goes back in perspective here. So now this will go along the wall. Whoops. I use my smart guides so you can see those happen, so I can tell when I get right to the point and pull down. And now let me change the shading there. Okay, so now I have something that has some dimension to it. So let me do another one. So I'm going to grab a little window here, pull that over, hold down the 5, whoops, so pull this back, okay, you're getting a little temperamental here. Okay, now we're in business. Okay, so I'm going to attach that here. Get rid of the stroke. stay with, let's make this, no, not blue. Let's make this orange. On the right one. Okay, yes, okay. And, oops, that's a little bit too. Okay, we'll stay with that. Okay, now make this the active grid. I have a box here. Let my smart guy show me where my points are, so I can make this match up correctly. And let's make another one on the horizontal plane. Okay, so now since the light is hitting on the top there, I want that to be a little bit lighter. So let me go. So again, all the rules apply from art. You know, so where the light source hits, it's going to be lighter. Where it's farther away from the light source, is going to be darker. Yep, that's a line. That's why it's not doing it. Get rid of the lines. Okay, so let me pull this to the front here. Okay, now we should be cooking with steam now. Okay, so that's lighter. Oops, what am I doing? Okay, so let me select that and make this darker. Okay. Move my apple out the way here. The apple of my eye! All right. Okay, so let me get rid of the grid so we can see. All right, so you can see everything's perspective. That's a little sloppy, but you can see all my items are here. So if I'm building something, again, it'll take a little bit more time to do all of this. Okay, so now let me go back to bring this back. Now also with this, we can get my, all right, so now if I'm being very precise with different things, I can go here, perspective grid, and I can lock the grid like once I have it set. And I could also lock the station point. Also, I can show rulers. So here you can see there the measurement points are coming up. So if I have any reason for that, you know, I can use that. So I'm gonna hide the rulers. And also, so if this was a grid that I spent a lot of time on getting it right the way I want it, I would save that the grid as a preset, give it a name that I want. And if I want to make some adjustments here, I can make the adjustments here, and then so I'm not going to save this. I'm just going to cancel this out right now. But that's how you would save your grid, and the way I came to it to find it. So it's weird because I can't just go right to it. I always have to go to define grid if I do have a preset, and then go here to find the preset. So these are the defaults, which are called normal views, and these are presets that I've previously created. So that's how you will find your preset once you've created them. Okay, now the only other thing about this is that you can only use one grid per drawing. So if you have something with a few different views, 1 point or 2 point or 3, or you're doing a comic strip or something, then this is going to be limited in use because you can't use it all on the same drawing. So you have to use it in another panel, another file, and then copy and paste it, the finished drawing into your final file. Okay, so that is I've done the perpendicular. All right, so that is going to conclude our lesson for today. Now let me go into the homework for you. The homework should be fun for you this time. Well, hopefully it's fun every time. Oops, here's the homework. Okay, so what I want you to do for your homework is to go outside, take a photo of the corner of the building you call home, nobody else's, and then use this photo as a reference to draw in perspective. Now, don't worry if you don't get the whole building because you may not be in a 2-story house or a ranch-style home. So if you're in an apartment building, just draw the fragment that's visible in your photo. All right, and you could cut it off at a natural point, the second floor, wherever. Okay, and use that, because what you want to do is draw from observation and not what you think a building looks like. Okay, because just drawing a square like this, not a square, a cube like this is not really the way a building looks. It's just putting some windows on it. So flat windows. So try to get some dimensionality to it. So I've shown you how to do that, and really use this tool. Okay. So that's going to complete our lesson for today. And so remember, go out and just create.